Hey guys, welcome back. You may be wondering, who's welcoming you back? Perhaps you'll remember me better as...
Hey guys, this is my.
Anyways, after all these years, Lunkle and I are resuming our videos on Nomads, a co-op multiplayer exploration strategy card game. This is an update video about our progress and our future plans. Over the past 2 years, we decided on some major design changes to Nomads. We're going to change the name, art style, tiling pattern, cards, classes, and game engine. First, Nomads is going to be renamed to Nomad Realms. This is because the original Nomads, a generic short name, causes Google searches to return equally generic results, which means it'll be difficult to find our game on the web. To get better publicity on Google, we chose a more specific name, Nomad Realms, which returns fewer results. The new name also has the benefit of being more recognizable and memorable, although it might be a tiny bit cheesier. For art, we made a drastic change from pixel art to hand-drawn cartoony art. I think pixel art is a little overused, and it also doesn't work with text very well, so we're switching to a smoother feel. Seems like Bub was one step ahead of us this entire time. Well played. Well played. Next, we've decided to convert the terrain tiling pattern from squares to hexagons. The one advantage of hexagons is that all surrounding tiles are equidistant. One big disadvantage is that hexagons cannot just combine into larger hexagons for a lower level of detail. To illustrate what I mean, this is a square, and this is a hexagon. This is also a square, and this is still a square, but this is not a hexagon. Okay, moving on. Cards. I'll try to keep it brief because we made a ton of changes. Casting cost. Cards cost no resources to play, but will instead have a resolution time that determines how long it takes for them to resolve, similar to Clash Royale's deployment time. Once the card resolves, its effect triggers, and then the card will be put into your discard pile. Card types. There will be 4 types of cards: Action, Task, Structure, and Cantrip. Action cards are generic actions. Structure cards create a structure on the map that emit some static effect in a radius. Task cards dispatch nomads on a variable length task. Action, structure, and task cards can only resolve one at a time. At most, one can be happening at any moment. Cantrip cards are cards that resolve instantly. They don't wait for previous cards to finish. More will be explained in future videos. Oh, and we made a cool card effect when you drag a card around. On to classes. Originally, we decided not to have classes in Nomads. As you might remember, we wanted cards to have classes and synergize with other cards in the same class. But looking back, the old design made no sense to me. It seemed that the cards would have extremely long card text, and I don't want our game to become Yu-Gi-Oh!, so we're scrapping that idea. We decided on 9 different classes to be added to Nomad Realms. Fighter, Monk, Tracker, Herbalist, Joker, Magus, Oracle, Thief, and Bard. Lunkle and I came up with some interesting themes and archetypes to work with for each of these classes. I personally think that classes are the coolest part of the game. Finally, for our game engine, we're switching from processing to lightweight Java game library. Processing turned out to be much too slow for our purposes. Even though processing uses opengl under the hood, its abstraction over the underlying opengl has too much overhead, and it's too inflexible. Lightweight Java Game Library is a much faster Java library that gives you fine control over low-level features, but it's much harder to use than processing. I spent the entire summer of 2021 remaking our game engine, but it was definitely worth it. Processing simply isn't built for commercial games. Since our last video, we actually made lots of undocumented progress on Nomad Realms, and I've gotten a lot better at programming. Because so much has changed, Luncle and I have decided to make a new YouTube channel under the name Virtual Cardboard. We're aiming to post bi-weekly videos about coding-related organization tools, in-depth analysis of programming design decisions, networking, as well as less technical, entertaining videos. I'll put a link in the description. Stay tuned. Thanks for sticking around to the very end. Let me know what you think about these changes. I'd love to hear some feedback from you. If you're new to this channel, I'd recommend watching my very first video here about the concept of Nomad Realms.